You're listening to Midwest Coven Cast.
I'm Susie.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Marilyn. We are three modern pagans making our way through this world.
We hope you will join us every 2 weeks
For conversations about,
Well,
just about everything. We hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, Coven.
Hello, we're recording.
I'm going to light our ritual candle so we can get started.
I'm going to light my ritual
Joy.
to get started as well.
All right, I need to switch lighters.
And can I borrow that?
I'm actually really relaxed for this episode when normally at the beginning of episodes I'm all like, yeah!
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of fitting because you just did your float yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Both of you did yours just yesterday.
Yep. But yeah, so that's what we're getting into today is our float tank experiences.
yes, finally. We've been talking about this.
This was our main thing
for like
all
the
season.
whole season.
This is the most expensive one, too,
But
probably. So, you know.
Now it's here.
Had to wait for the good stuff. Had to stick around.
Thanks to our patrons for supporting our experiences.
Yes, 100%.
Then we can talk about them, you know?
So, basically, yes.
So
a
what is
float
it?
tank.
Yeah, I was going to say we should probably
We'll
explain
kind
what
of
it
get
is.
into. So, it's also called, like, a sensory deprivation tank, or what else have they been called? I feel like there's a couple different terms that I've heard over the years, but...
Like a water therapy or something. Or
I've just heard sensory
therapy
deprivation or like a float pod.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so it's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in 200
Basically-
gallons of water, so it makes it, like, super duper buoyant. It makes you buoyant over it all.
If you've seen Stranger Things, it's what Elle does. It's
Yeah. Yes, actually, yes.
Or like Minority Report, where they have like the 3 cells that are in the think tank.
like
and
Yep.
the
memories
oracles or whatever.
or-
yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember the exact name.
Is that what you were picturing when you were in there? Like,
Well, okay, so I
I know
did.
everything. And
I did have some anxiety when I first closed the lid because, like, when I got there, I was the last one of the night. I went at 6:00, and he asked me right before. He's like, "Do you want to go for an extended time? Like, since you're the last one, I can have you in for an hour and a half." It's like, "Oh, does that cost more money?" I'm like, "No." He said no, so I was like, "Okay, I'll go for an hour and a half." And I closed the lid, and I lay back, and I float up, and I'm like pinging around from side to side. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't know if I can do this for an hour and a half. Like, what did I get myself into? Like,
you can open it up and leave at any time.
Yeah.
If you really want to, you really can. But I agree, though, in the sense that when you first close yourself in, you kind of get this, like, whoosh of anxiety, a little like, oh shit, like, can I get out of this?
well, I'm so always, like, on. Like, I
Yes.
have my kids that always need things. I have my PTSD that's always going off. So, like, to just be in a pod where nothing's supposed to be bothering me
It's
and just to
awkward.
not be bothered for an hour and a half, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed, like,
What
I
do
don't
I
know
do
how,
myself?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
how do I do that?
Agreed. It's weird, like, because like you said, there's just always so much noise going on the outside that to have zero no. Well, you know what? I can't really say that though, because for me, what kind of sucked a little bit was the fact that, like, yes, there was no noise, and I couldn't hear anything from like the outside room or from the outside of the pod or whatever, but I could hear myself breathing every single breath.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're
'Cause
supposed
of
to
it-
really hear your body. Like,
Yeah.
some
I can hear
people
my
can
heart
your
a little
Yep.
bit sometimes.
Yep, I heard
yeah.
I heard everything that was going on in me, and I don't know if I
What time
necessarily
did you go?
liked that. Oh, I think it was at like 12 in the afternoon or something like that.
See, I might have to try like an afternoon float because that was the downside of doing a 6 p.m. one downtown is I could
traffic.
hear the traffic, I could hear
wow.
motorcycles, I could hear, which at first really bothered me, but once I started to relax more, it was easier to tone out. But like when you're in a deprivation tank, you're like, oh, it's supposed to like deprivate everything. I'm not supposed to hear that, and then you hear it, it's just kind of like, well.
I thought I wasn't supposed to really hear that.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Except for myself.
Well, I mean, I heard things, but
So you were hearing things?
I was hearing lots of things. No, I'm just kidding. But I agree in the sense that, like, yeah, when you go into it, you kind of think, okay, I'm not going to hear anything. I'm not going to see anything. I'm not going to feel gravity. I'm not going to, like, all these parts of my brain are going to be shut down, and I'm going to go into, like, this other area of my brain to enhance this thing, you know. But for me, unfortunately, I don't think that I necessarily got quite there because I was so distracted about being able to hear my breath. And unfortunately, and he recommended this at the beginning of the float, that if you don't like water in your ears, to put the earplugs in before you even take your shower, so that way it, like, you know, closes everything up and so nothing can get in. But he also said, but I recommend for people to try it without them because it takes away from, or, you know, the sound or the feel of the earplugs take away from the experience. And so I tried to do it without the earplugs, but I hate water in my ears. I cannot stand that feeling. So I ended up having to get out of the pod, dry off my ears as best as I could, put the ear stuff in there, and they still didn't adhere correctly. So then I got back into the pod, and there was water / that in my ears, so that was very distracting.
Water behind the earplug, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, why didn't I just go with my gut and put these in right away, knowing that I hate water in my ears?
Yeah, I don't mind water in my ears.
Oh, I can't stand that feeling.
And I have a weird phobia that bugs are always crawling in my ears. Like, I freak out about it multiple times a day. I'm like, oh, there's a bug. There's, like, something in my ear, and I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
So I actually liked having, like, my ears feel really dry and, like, salty on the inside. So I'm like, oh, ain't no bugs living in there today. Like, they would have drowned.
Get you out of there.
Yeah, that was, like, a weird thing for me, too, because I ended up going without the earplugs. I was like, well, I'll just, you know, I'm just going to try it without them because I'm so with water in my ears. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to try it. And so when I lean back, it's weird because it feels like a little bit of a pressure kind of going into your ear kind of. So it's like, so it felt funny for a little bit, but it ended up being fine. And then I had like the same reaction. Later that night, I kind of like I just kind of like wiped by my ear and it was like all white. And I was like, what? I got some salty ass ears over here.
Got sand in my ear. At least it's not no bugs crawling in there today.
I'll take the sand.
Oh, man.
Yes.
But yeah, so, and then today I felt, the one thing is though that I felt like today, because Sam and I both did ours yesterday.
Yep.
It felt a little plugged at first.
Like
or not at first today.
Maybe.
Not like there
salt
was water.
Was too much salt in it.
But there was like, yeah, like it was like, if I moved around in certain ways, it felt almost like plugged up.
Crunchy.
I don't know.
Crunchy.
I don't know about crunchy or not. But like there was something impeding the path, sort of, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Something's up in that canal that wasn't there before.
Yeah, I mean, I just sort of kind of like rubbed my ear a little bit and it was fine. But it was just like, I don't know. It was a strange kind of feeling, I guess.
Well, I think Nick said the same thing the next day because he did it without the earplugs.
Oh, he did it too?
He said, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he wants to go again. Oh yeah, he wants to go again. He said that he felt so relaxed afterwards that his muscles just felt so good, his neck, his everything. I was just like, yep, we're going again.
Yeah, I'm excited to go again.
Well, the only other thing, like, I hate to say this because it wasn't a negative experience at all, but I did have some just hiccups, I would say. Like, there was one other thing that I kind of wished I would have known about / did, is at the beginning, he kind of, like, goes over, like, all the equipment that's in the room and, you know, what to use everything for, whatever, but he didn't point out that there was this little, like, floaty thing, like a ring.
Over your head?
That you can put your head on if you need it. And I wished I would have known that because at one point in the float, like, yeah, I was just floating, but, like, for some reason, my neck, like, I couldn't always get my head to feel comfortable, so I would adjust it, and then I would, like, sometimes I felt the pressure on my neck from my head. And
see, I looked for the pillow, and there wasn't one in my room, I don't think.
It's like a little
blue. Yeah, I don't think I had one in mine. I don't know if I would have used it, but I felt my neck get stiff every once in a while. I would say it wasn't bad most of the time. Most of the time I was comfortable. Okay, but like I would want to like crack my back. So I would try and like arch to crack my back and my neck and then get super paranoid about the salt water getting in my eyes because he made a big point about pointing out like don't get the water in your eyes. Yeah. So I went to like arch and crack my back and I was like, "Oh no, my eyes." So then I didn't do that, and then, like, because I wanted to crack my back and couldn't, it just bothered me from then on. Because, you know, that, like, when you're like, oh, I'm going to get a good crack, and then, nope.
Hey,
he made a big deal about the eyes for me, too. He's like, don't get it in your eyes. It'll burn.
Don't touch, like,
you.
as soon as you get out, wipe your hands on your towel before you touch your eye. Like, before you do anything.
Well, I mean, they even give you, like, in the float tank, they put, like, an extra washcloth.
And pure water.
Pure water. So
yeah,
in case you,
spray
mostly
bottle.
in case you get it in your eyes, was, like, the gist.
I had to use the towel a couple times just to pat kind of around my eyes, just to make sure that it didn't, because, like, even when,
the fear was in us.
Well, not even just that, yeah. But what sucked for me was that I had to pee in the middle of mine. I was trying to hold it. And I was like, nope, I gotta get out. I gotta go. There's no holding this. So I had to get out. I had to go take a bathroom break and come back and get back in. And then
I made sure to go right before I got in.
Well,
especially because I got the hour and a half one. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pee before we do this.
Well, that's the sad part, is that I did pee right before I went. And then I still had to go pee in the middle of it. I think it's because I drank so much water, because they talk about, hydrating.
Yeah. Well, plus you're in water.
Soon before.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the temperature of the water? Because they say it's supposed to be like body temperature, so eventually you don't know like where your body ends and the water begins. But for me, I feel like the water was like a half degree or maybe even a full degree too cold. Like I could feel when I moved a little bit, like my warm water, like mixing with the colder water.
I do agree with that, but the thing that I almost liked the feeling
that it was a little cooler,
because like there was a point when I was just just floating there like without moving or making any movements. Mm-hmm. But then every once in a while I would like get like that little tickle on like your arm, like on the surface from the water, and I kind of liked that feeling. So at one point I was just like moving around, like
I definitely like jettisoned around a little bit during some of my more like.
Did you tap off the side and float to the other side?
Yes, 100%.
Around.
Yes.
It was like some of it was fun, but then sometimes I was like, okay, I'm trying to be I'm trying not to ping around, and then I would ping.
By the way, bonk.
Well, and some of the time I wasn't moving, but it felt like I was drifting. It always felt like I was drifting to the left.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it was particular to the left for me, but yes, drifting.
But yes,
even when I wasn't. Like
yeah.
And then sometimes I wouldn't know I was drifting, and then I would ping. And
you know what's funny is the best part for me was when you first initially like lay back and you float right up.
Yeah.
Like, whoop. Like, it's pretty fun. So I actually made it a point to do that a couple of times because I liked that feeling particularly.
Just sit back down.
Well, as a fatty, I can say that buoyancy has never really been a problem for me.
She's like, nope. Whoop.
So you float anyways?
I mean, maybe, I'm pretty sure that I float pretty easily because I'm a big girl, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
She's like, I'm pretty sure that's just the way it goes, but...
Well, see, I don't know.
I mean, you guys are thin, like, so...
Like, I mean, even they could just sink straight
nowadays.
to the bottom. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But no, it was definitely fun to, like, just have something just plop, float you right up to the
It made me want to go swimming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love I've been going swimming, actually, this summer, so if you want to go.
I will say, though, that as a bigger girl, I did, like, if I, like, moved just a little bit, I could feel my booty kind of scrape the bottom a little.
Like, it wasn't deep. See, I wondered that, too, that it wasn't that deep.
It really was.
So I wondered how
the water
much
would have been
deeper
just,
they
like,
could have.
It's just, like, an inch would have been, like... amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know if like they already have it filled to like a standard that they can't overgo because of like machine, like there's stuff in the machine, like there's a speaker in there and there's like a light button that you can turn on and off the light, and there's like a button for music, although they tell you not to do the music because they start playing music to let you know when you only have
they play
left,
music at the very end to alert you that it's about
5
that you need to get out and like shower.
Yeah.
So question on that. I was a little bit confused with that because I thought for some reason that he said that he was going to play music for about 5 minutes.
Well, you didn't have to get out right away.
And
he did say that you could use the 5 minutes to sort of like
kind of readjust
get out of your relaxation.
But that is that is the end and to get out.
Okay,
Did you stay in until the
No, I did get out.
On?
I thought I lost out on like 5 minutes worth of like, calming, soothing.
Yeah.
Well, because
the music.
Were you still in the room when the filters came on? I was, and I would not want to have been in that pod when that, like, the whole thing, like, it was like, whoosh, and then, like, it started, like, going, and, so, like, He'd warned me. He was like, the music is really so that you know to get out, because otherwise the only thing that's going to alert you is this filtration system
he
kicking
did
on.
say that.
And I was like, okay. And then I do have one other complaint, which I know they probably can't help this, especially in their location. But I would say the size of the room was, or the way the pod was to the shower was weird to me, because like when you're showering, some of your shower water could easily just go right in the pod because of how close they were.
They could splash
he told us to
in,
make sure it was like closed while we showered.
Oh, see, it was wide open when I went in there, and he never told me to close it before I showered.
Same.
Oops.
I don't think that was the thing that
Yeah.
So that was
he
one
said
thing
it
that
to
I
me.
did question. I was like, their dirty water could be like, I made sure not to get my water like, in
Right.
it, but like I could see easily like the water going in the pod,
Or at least
from the
splashing
showers
a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know like in the pod or like or in the shower part rather. I'm sorry. It was like a rainfall one, so it does fall straight down. At least it's not like
projecting
at an angle.
out,
At least,
yeah.
but still, you're just like by virtue of
And
moving
like
around
moving
in water,
with your
you're gonna
arms above your
splash a
head,
little.
doing your elbows.
But yeah, they might
Yeah.
want to just re-section or
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
it's
should
probably
probably, like,
really
post
heavy
it
to
or
move
something.
move the whole pod
Well,
now.
but you know what? It's also probably so that way when they first step down and get out, that they're right there where.
Yeah, I think that is part of the thing, but I think like if it needs to be like probably like posted or something to
close
it
like,
before-
make
so
sure
that
the
it
list
doesn't go in
is-
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to make
Yeah.
sure that everybody's aware. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't, unless I missed it, I think I only did it like when he was explaining the sound thing, not to hit the button. But like sometimes when people are explaining things to me, I just kind of black out. It's like part of my PTSD, I think. I just like forget that I'm supposed to be listening to something, and I just...
Yeah, I do that.
You know what?
sometimes,
Maybe
too.
I missed it too, though. I mean, but I
happened to catch that part, but
theme.
maybe I missed other things though. I know there were like a couple things he said that just didn't seem super important that I missed.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
You know, close the pod when you're showering, you know, sorry. But no, I also, I was freaking out because I remember when I had to go take my bathroom break, I didn't have my shoes on at first. I had to go get my shoes on, go to the bathroom, get my shoes back, come back in. Then I had to like rinse my feet off before getting into the pod again because I had stuff all over my feet and I can't get nothing in the pod or it's like $1,000 or something if you ruin the water.
I was worried about my boobs starting to leak in the pod, and like, but it was
lactated here. What do I do?
What happens if I start lactating everywhere?
So did you just make sure that you fed like right before you left?
Yeah, I mean it was only an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and I'm able to do that nowadays. So, yeah, but another thing, other than when I wasn't like pinging around and stuff, I felt the most comfortable like having my hands on my abdomen, or I like put them even behind my head, and like I felt more grounded like when I was touching myself, other than just having my arms out to my side.
Yeah.
Like I tried that for the longest time, and I was like, I just can't have my
I moved around a lot. I was trying to find like a good balance between like wanting I don't know, like I had my arms up, but if my arms were up, I have a lot of boob and it would like fall towards my throat and I'd be like, I can't breathe, you know, like because that, you know, there's a lot of booby rolling down there, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was a little challenging. So, but I preferred my arms down most of the time anyways.
That was mostly how I had mine too, but
Yeah.
I did every once in a while kind of bring them in or move them around.
Yeah,
Or,
I felt like I always had to like compromise because the one thing I did like about having my arms like more up was like my back relaxed a little bit more in ways that I thought felt good.
yeah, I can see that.
But in the other direction, I could breathe better. So
Yeah.
Do one and then switch.
Oh,
there you
I did not
go.
try that. Why didn't I try that? That's such a
Okay.
great idea. Like have one up and one down. I wonder if that would like
Balance.
be the
stuff.
perfect yeah. I just balanced it in time, not necessarily in form. So that's like a really good idea.
I'll have to try that the next time I go because I haven't gone.
100%.
I'm glad I didn't go on my second one yet because I was gonna go on my second one before we had this, but now I'm glad I didn't because now we can kind of like
share ideas.
Yeah, to add into the next experience.
I really want to go and do this again. I feel like I might even look and see their membership prices.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was nice. Well, the feeling that you get afterwards is super awesome. Like you just feel like all your muscles are so relaxed and you're just
Well, and just having like your sensory is not going off for an hour and a half, like the mind relaxing was it's something that like as moms we don't really get like to just turn, even when we're not around our kids, you know, we don't just turn off our brains and just have nothing going on.
Like you said, we're always on go, go, go.
Yeah.
And just actually shut down and literally have nothing to do.
For an hour and a half and just
relax.
Just
float there.
Or
it's
not
so
even.
And not have bugs in my ears the next day.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, it reminds me of like it did end up I can't remember if I've talked about this on the podcast before or if it's just I've talked about it to one or both of you, but there was this time when I was young and we were visiting our aunt and I like Susie and our aunt had gone inside and I was just like in the hot tub by myself. The jets were off. It was like not really a warm night, but it was like a just crisp night kind of, and I was like under the stars, and she kind of lives not in the middle of nowhere but almost the middle of nowhere, and so there was a lot of trees and like but you could see like the stars through it, and I was just like free floating for like an hour, and it was like so fucking relaxing, and it was just like I wanted to recreate that moment. Although I, sans nature, I guess, because I'm in a pod, but but I wanted to like, just that like calm and that like serene.
Girl, you know what's so funny that you say that? Because how old were you when that happened?
I think my 20s, I think.
Oh, you were in your 20s.
I was a little older.
Okay. Well, still, like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, there was this one time, and I'll tell you in a second what it was, but you remember when your mind is just completely at relax and at peace. Like, you remember. Like you said, you wanted to recreate that moment. Like, so for me, mine was when we all went to Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
When we first arrived, it was like, I think 3 or 4 in the morning, and I wanted to go check out the hotel and the pools and just kind of explore, because I was awake. Like, I was not even tired. And so you guys were all upstairs doing your thing, and I went exploring, and I saw at the pool, and I just, for some reason, I don't know if I was already in my suit, if I'd pre-planned to go into this pool or what, but I remember, maybe I went back upstairs and changed and came back down.
Maybe you were just in your suit because it was Hawaii.
Yeah, like, I don't even remember,
how we
I went
around.
swimming. Like, this is how I remember. I went swimming in that pool because there was nobody down there. It was closed, and I didn't realize that it was closed. So I got in there. Yeah, and I was just floating there, and I looked straight up. I could see like the edge of the hotel room, like the long, tall buildings, and I could see palm trees and stars and clear sky, and I just, like you said, I just floated there and floated there, and it was just so relaxing, and that was the moment that I tried to recreate when I was in the float pod. I was like, man, like, I want that again, and if we go all the time.
You were in your 20s when that happened too, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah.
So, but it's just so funny to me, like, when your body is truly relaxed, it remembers, and it craves it again, but yeah.
I feel like I must have been having like a little anxiety about it before though. So like the night before the experience, I think I've been talking about like I've been dreaming a lot lately.
Yep.
So anyway, like every night, and I kind of can remember it a little bit.
Do you journal in your dreams?
No. I should probably, but I don't.
It'd be interesting, because you could probably, if you start doing kids' books, you could probably come up with some crazy cool stuff from your dreams. I remember what happened. Yeah, like some of the cool scenarios and weird, like, out there things that happen.
So, the dream, though, was kind of crazy, because it was about the float pod. Like, so we went to this place, and it was like... You know how, like the makeshift hospitals that they put up, like, in emergencies that have, like, just, like, metal curtains? It was kind of like that, but the curtains were, like, black. But, like, you could see through the curtains, and you're in the float pod, and you're like, I don't want to see it again. But then also, when I was there, like, before, like, I was alone in this not so alone room, apparently. I mean, nobody was looking, but, it was, like, anxiety to me. Like,
Yeah.
and so he was like, here, you gotta put this in the thing. And it was like, it looked like a Tide Pod. So that I get in the... and it just starts bubbling like fucking crazy. And it just, like, goes all over the place. And it's just, like... making a mess of bubbles all over. It was like fucking insane. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh my god.
welcome to my brain at night. As I hallucinate wildly in my sleep.
I'm gonna ruin the pot.
Was it like a washing machine?
I mean, like it was that dense, like foamy soap. Yeah, I mean, it was just like bubbling over.
Were you floated in it?
I mean, I was like floating, but you could see like I was just like, it was just, I could like simultaneously experience it going up and out like over me, but then also like looking down on it and seeing it float outside of like these, like tent things that they have up to conceal us. Fucking insanity.
Oh, that was great. Got me crying over here. Oh man, that's amazing.
My gosh.
Oh, so you're glad that it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Did it give you a Tide Pod to bubble it all up?
And you were in a private room.
I was in fact in a private room. There was no one
No
spying.
curtains.
Not gonna lie,
There were no makeshift war hospital curtains up.
There were real doors with locks.
Yes, with locks.
What's funny though is that I felt like I always just feel paranoid whenever I'm out in the public and I'm getting naked, like for some reason. So it was like this. There's always a weird like, are there cameras in there somewhere? Where are they? Where could they be? Okay, I don't see any that could be. Okay, I guess I'll get naked.
I think that's just a fire alarm, right? That's just a
that's
fire alarm.
like what is that?
Well, I remember at the rental that we got married in, you guys put the...
That wasn't me.
I don't...
What happened? I feel like I have no idea what you're talking about.
In the room that her and Nick stayed in, there was like... I think there were motion detectors for the lights.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, it's cameras, and they put socks over them.
I did not. That was definitely Nick. I'm just saying.
But yeah, you do get paranoid. And it could have been a camera. You could easily just hide cameras anywhere these days. So.
That's the real business.
Oh, no.
That's
it's
really
not an
Airbnb.
That's why there were so many black couches.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
So, yep, I definitely... Excuse me. I definitely am looking forward to going again now, especially now that
I have tips from everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, so this one and the salt room were my top experiences so far for the seasons.
Yeah, I think
I loved the sound. I wish I would have started sitting up. Mm-hmm. But like I really enjoy, but I've always had like resonated with sound. So like
I think same though. I feel like the sound bath was a little bit more my thing. I liked the salt, but I feel like it was
top of the tub,
I feel like we should do another sound bath where we all sit up and like are in a circle.
Yeah.
Like we could hum if we feel we could like do an actual
have our songs.
We should do it in the backyard. We're gonna invite some people over. We should just
we like just for ourselves should have an end of season camp out. We've been talking about a camp out for 2 years.
So what advice would we give people?
Pulling us back in.
Yes, sorry.
Based on that experience, what advice would we give people?
I would definitely recommend not drinking a whole lot before you go. I mean, yes, hydrate, but make sure it's like hours and hours before you go, because I think I made the mistake of drinking like almost an entire bottle of water right before we got there. Yes, I went pee beforehand, but I had to go pee right in the middle of mine, and that sucked.
Yeah.
So definitely don't do that.
I would say I got the benefit from going at the end of the day because I got to have the extended time added to my session, which is like I think I needed, honestly, to like get the experience, like he said, because it just takes so long to actually start to even like acclimate to being relaxed. Mm-hmm. Like since I'm not naturally in a relaxed state, like I have to acclimate to be in my relaxed state.
Makes sense.
I benefited from having the extra time. And yeah, I would just make sure that you can move around. Like, don't try and be in one solid position the whole time. Like, move your arms and like...
Yep. Same. Because at
do
first,
some stuff.
when I first went in, I think that was kind of my expectation, that I had to just float there and be
Sit there still for an hour and a half without moving at all.
Yeah, again, I had to just adjust after I got in there because it was, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, I think I would probably tell people, if you run a little hot, beware, because, it was warm in there for me a little bit. Because I like it, I usually have my AC, like, up.
I think that there was a temperature or a thermometer on the outside of the pod. Was it for adjusting the temperature in the pod, or was it for adjusting the temperature outside of it?
I don't know. I didn't notice anything like that.
I think it's for the room, but I usually don't mess with businesses.
I don't usually mess with that.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I think you did say at the beginning that you could if you wanted to, but I don't remember ever. Like you said, I don't mess with those.
I might have just, But yeah, so that, and then... although I didn't get water directly in my eyes, I would also warn, like, people, so, like, on my eyes, like, where the top and bottom meet, like, on the outside, like, just the skin, corner. Like, right in that corner is really sensitive. It doesn't even need to be, like, on, like, in my eye, just that direct, like, right. I don't know, on that quarter of an inch or so right around it is really sensitive.
Because when you blink, it sometimes will just bring that stuff right by it.
And so, like, if I let it get, like, too close, I didn't very often, but sometimes when I was, like, peeing around and, like, making the water move.
Like, get really close.
I would get real close. And there was, like, once, near the end of my float anyways, it got, like, right in that, like, danger zone, and it burnt. Danger zone. I don't want to say it, like, burnt. It wasn't, like, that bad, but it was a little burny sensation a little bit there, so I had to, like, get up and get the washcloth, and, and it was fine, but...
I also had to use the washcloth. I just wanted to be on the safe side because I wasn't sure if it was going to or not. Oh, and when I got up to go use the bathroom, make sure you don't get out like you normally get out of, like, a bathtub. Make sure you're very well aware of your hair because, when you go to get out, it's full of that Epsom salt. So you need to kind of do not lean forward. He tells you all of this before you go, but for real, do not lean forward. It's a hard thing to not do almost, because I almost did it as soon as I got out both times, just out of normal,
rinsing your hair.
Speaking of advice, this is something that I probably would do next time. I would probably bring, like, a hair tie next time, I think.
Oh, you just had your hair down?
I just had my hair down. It was kind of cool because I would, like, float my arms out. I mean, my hair is, like, as long as my arms, so it's like it would go...
You can feel it.
Like, all the way down to my fingers. So...
Same.
Yeah. So it feels kind of cool.
She would kind of wave down it, like,
Yeah, but then as I was, like, leaving, he was, like, going in there, and I'm sure they do this, like, after every float, but he was bringing out, like, one of those, like, pool cleaners with a net on it. I was like, oh, sorry, I hope my hair isn't all over the fucking place, because it probably is.
I'm sure that's, like you said, what they have to do between them, just in case there's any little thing.
But I felt a little guilty, because there were times when I was literally playing with it in there, because it felt really cool,
He's like,
sorry, I was probably accidentally pulling out a little extra for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Sorry. I don't know. I think that's, like, most of my, like, things that I think people should know, or...
advice that you give.
Mm-hmm. How have you been feeling in, like, the aftermath?
Yeah, I'd say
you have a little bit more experience than we do, because we're only one day out. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, directly afterwards, I know I felt, like, super duper relaxed, and I slept really good that night. I mean... I sleep pretty much the same. I have one interruption pretty much every night. I just wake up, and for some reason at like 2 a.m, I wake up. I don't know. So I just kind of, it's not anything that I could give credit to or from this at all. It's just something that happens in my life. Yeah. I don't know. But I do sleep well. Like, it's not that it like did or... I don't think it did anything too far out from the float. I think directly afterwards, the next, few days, it has more effect. And then I'm sure if I went again and more regularly, it would have maybe like overall effects of an everyday type of basis. But again, that'd be because I'd be going more frequently, but
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I want to go again, is to see if it, like,
keeps up.
yeah, you
Yeah.
do it, like, once every other week or, like, once a week or...
Well, and just to get the relaxation of all your muscles like that, too. Like you said, the noise deprivation part, so you're just shutting down all of your brain. And then, like, yeah, the relaxation of the Epsom salt floating you there. Like, it's... And the gravity not weighing down on you. It's definitely a good feeling.
I wonder, like, getting a massage and then going in the tank.
Like a double.
Yeah,
double
like getting
feature.
all relaxed and then
then
being relaxed. Like,
That would be freaking cool. That's what they need
that's
to do.
the next one.
That's what they need to
you
do
know
up there.
what?
Is get like some.
I'm down for that because
Because you've wanted to get a massage, right?
always. I remember.
Like, we could go to get, like, a couple's massage. I know we're not a couple, but, like...
you still pay that
to
price.
get like one together, we
Yeah,
could go
do
together
well,
and get
fine.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They
It's
don't
not
have
like
to
they're
know.
it's not like they do you together. It's you get
Well,
two
and it's
separate
not like they have to
licenses.
ask about your real life, what's going on.
I'm pretty sure girlfriends are allowed to go to couples massages, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Like,
that a thing? Do girlfriends go to couples massages?
well, and
I
then
mean, I'm sure
I
there's
haven't
some
gone
of
for
them,
a
right?
manicure pedicure in a long time, but I do love to get a pedicure. For some reason, they do such a nice job on my toes, and my feet just feel so nice afterwards. I know some people don't like to go into the public to get those, but oh man, I love it. I go to Lux Nail Bar up on East State or Alpine, I think it is actually.
Oh
Two of
yeah,
them.
maybe there's more than one.
Yeah, but anyways, but not. We shouldn't be talking about there. We should be talking about here. People should know is that they usually do buy one get ones around holidays. So like if it's ever a
Yeah, they
holiday
have sales
time,
frequently.
yeah, so you can kind of get double bang for your buck. But yeah, it's called Forest City Float. They're located at 223 East State Street, Suite 202 in Rockford, Illinois at 61104. Yeah, they're actually pretty modest. I mean, it's a small
Yeah,
facility, but it doesn't need to be a big facility, so.
yeah.
But yeah.
So Sam, sorry, I'm just bringing it back to the question that we were just on.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I feel like because I said the, location of the one place, I needed to, go back and say the location of their place, so I wasn't taking away from the
that's okay.
episode being about them.
So how
Sorry.
has your experience been in the post?
I would say I
Days.
slept good. Like, I was relaxed afterwards, definitely. Like, I went home and had a glass of wine and just relaxed. And,
Yeah.
but today I did notice that I started to feel a little dehydrated, which made me feel more tense than relaxed again. So I'm trying to get, more hydrated to see if I can...
I've been drinking a lot of water today,
Yeah.
too. I think I've filled my big cup, twice since you've been here. Yeah. I've been water... I drink a lot of water in general. That's what I drink mostly throughout the day anyway. But, it's been a little bit more excessive today than usual. So...
I am so bad. I'm not a water drinker, and it was hard for me to drink, so when I was pregnant and I had to get an ultrasound, I remember one of the things they had you do was drink, an entire bottle of water and then not pee before you come in to, take one of these, ultrasounds. And I kind of felt like that. I felt like I tried to force a bottle of water into me to make sure that I, was good to go beforehand. And then, yeah, I have a hard time drinking water. I don't know why. It's just not one of my, go-to things like it is for
some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it was. But, yeah.
Yeah. I also slept really well last night. So, you know me, I'm a night owl, and I typically go to bed at 3:30 sometimes in the morning. And then I'll get up at usually 10:30 at the latest, 11 maybe. Mm-hmm. And then, but last night, I got up at 9:30, and I was like, I feel good. Let's do it.
Nice.
I was I would get something done. I'll be like, God, it's gonna be 2 or 3 o'clock already, and it'd be it's 11, and I'm what?
Awesome.
I was like, who am I?
It's kind of nice, though, I guess, because, I don't mind being a night owl, but there are times when it's convenient to,
Be up during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked up Namaste Studios, which is the broader part of Forest City Float, which is They opened in 2010 downtown Rockford, and they're like a yoga studio. They also do
I did
other
see that
things.
across the
I
way.
just saw it, but I lost it. But yeah, so
When I was sitting in the waiting room, I looked across and seen a whole big room with pillows, and I kind of wondered.
I
what
wondered.
that
There was like a door in there, but I didn't see.
What was beyond it?
Yeah, like in that little sitting space that they have.
Yeah,
yeah. I was trying to see what other
okay.
services they offered. So
Interesting.
yoga for sure. But yeah, they've been around for a while. You guys, so local people, I know we're broadly for the Midwest, but local people to our area, you should check them out.
Did we give them their website yet?
ForestCityFloat.com, I think we did.
Yeah,
we
I
just
think so.
dropped it again. If y'all missed it,
Yeah, and we'll be sure to like put it online in places as well, of course.
I think
we're gonna try and get better at that. Our
Yeah.
social media game.
Yes.
We're planning a calendar and everything, everybody.
We
We're
did
trying
one
to get
a
it
while
together.
back. Yeah, a while back we were doing like a post a day for a good month and a half, and then we never posted
It's because
again.
the calendar went away. Now that we have a calendar again, maybe we'll be on our shit.
Fill that shit out.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna get our shit together someday, maybe at least a little bit.
These days. But we're also in the works of getting our questions from you guys for our final episode this season.
Yes.
We have a form on our website. It's already up and active. If
We
you
already
guys
had a response.
yeah.
So-
Woo! Yay.
If you guys fill out that form this season, you actually get entered into our giveaway also for our witch kit.
Which is going to include some of our items that we're going to start selling as well. So
Yeah, available on
Yeah.
our Etsy whenever that is available.
Hopefully, really soon. We are working on it. We're trying. It's so
Business-
involved.
Yeah, there's business
Ugh.
details we need to
This
square
is why
away before
we
can
waited so
open.
long, because we were like,
But we can
It's
at least
gonna be a
start
lot
like
to do.
showing you guys little teases of our products so
yes,
we can, you know.
it is coming, forthcoming.
We just have to bend over for the government a little bit more before we can legally
I know.
Pretty much.
do the thing.
It is what it is.
Do the
unfortunately.
thing.
But we're
Okay.
excited because, yes, we're finally going to get to make our
Yeah.
things and sell our things.
And it's exciting to like actually be to the point where we're starting to sell things now, because when we started the podcast, it was 100% just like our COVID hobby thing, I think, and like
Yeah.
a way to spend time together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now we're like all in doing a business. So
We're gonna make it work, and I'm really excited about the game too. I know we've mentioned it a few times, and I'm just
yeah, we definitely need to, now that it after the end of the season, we're going to have more time to invest into development of that, and I'm
Yeah.
excited.
we'll hopefully be able to share a little bit more about that too through our process on our Patreon and stuff as well. So
I'm starting
Really excited
university
about that.
again. I'll get all new skills to hopefully put towards our artwork.
Woo. Yeah. So did we say like whether we would do this again?
I think we did, but if
Oh, okay.
there's any clarification, I think it was a yes for me.
Yeah. Yes. We do. Okay.
Definitely yes for me. Yep.
Yeah.
And not just because I have a buy one, get one.
Although I'm going to make full use of that.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
100%. Yeah.
But I agree, though, that Sam, me, and you, next time, we should go get massages. Or if you want to come with too, Marilyn, of course, obviously.
Massages
You want to
and
go get massages and then floats? Well, we
I'm
can't
weird
get all
about
three of the floats the
strangers
same
touching
day.
me like that.
That's kind
I'm
of why I
good.
thought you were like, yeah.
That's kind of why I want to do it together, because like then at least we're not alone in a room being with a stranger touch. Like we can talk and have
That's
we can like talk and not just be laying there being touched.
Although the weird part for me will be the fact that when I usually get massages, I'm usually very like, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
Like
mower.
Monica. Wait, is that Monica from Friends? Doesn't
I
Phoebe
don't
give
remember.
Monica, or maybe I don't think it's Rachel. I think it's Monica. She gives her a massage and she's doing that, and so Phoebe like refuses to ever massage her again because she's always like, ah.
I totally don't remember this, but I feel like I need to find it now.
Oh yes.
Like, I've seen Friends, but I don't remember that one. But I'm sure
Oh,
it's there.
man.
It's got to be.
It's like funny, like in shows like that. The
We
random
could
things
both
you
do that. It would be
say or how- what
hilarious.
other people do.
We'll just be laying there moaning and I'll be
Ah, at our couples massage.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great. We could get the massage get the float, come back to Maryland's. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to make a whole day of it, folks.
Picnic has to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll definitely food.
I don't know about the massage bar.
She's like, I don't know about any of this. You're using my house?
We're going to set up a tent out back.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be excellent.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go again to float. So
we'll probably plan another one in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll buy another buy one get one. Maybe like for Halloween they'll have a special going on or something again.
Is that only for first time people get buy one get ones, or do you get buy one get ones for all of them?
I think it's as long as it's on a special. Like I think they just have those sales throughout the year. As long as you get them on the special sale, I think.
We also have our links on our socials that we'll share on for our referrals. So, we can earn free floats if y'all want to float with us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. They give you, those reference codes. So, yep. Are we linking them in Patreon, or are we just going to say them?
I'm just probably going to share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Seems.
Okay.
I figured we could each share our own, and then we could share all of them in a post, and whoever wants to.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yay!
Yay! For our friends!
Yeah, the more
for our wishy friends!
Yeah, the more referrals we get... Referrals.
Referrals!
The more referrals we get, the more free floats we get. And the more referrals you guys get, the more free floats you get. It's like a pyramid.
That's not a pyramid.
It's not?
No.
But that's what it... Well, I mean,
well,
it's not
really.
But it's recruitment on top of recruitment that builds, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's more or less
But without the having to, sell shit.
people.
I mean,
other people.
I guess it's not... Yeah.
It's a referral program, not a scheme.
I wasn't trying to say it was a scheme. I'm sorry. Okay. Not... What did I call it? A pyramid? It's not a pyramid scheme.
But I mean, I know I know that you were just...
Yes, is the more... the more accurate description of that. So sorry.
There are, sort of similarities in the,
the
structure.
Yeah, that was more or less all I was getting at was that. But I wasn't trying to say it was a scheme. That's not what I was trying to say.
Oh, man. Too funny. So, yeah, we'll share our referrals and then, go to our website and let us know what your questions are. And,
go have a float or two.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then...
Those are our referrals.
Yeah. And when you submit your question, you can also sign up for our giveaway.
Well,
you don't have to do it, but you can.
No, I thought that by submitting a question, that was an automatic,
Well, not automatic. I have them, opt into it. After.
So they can just submit a question if you don't want to. If you don't want to win our handmade giveaway objects.
I didn't want to force everyone into it, so.
Gotcha.
You cannot win prizes. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want to win a prize, but
it doesn't make sense.
But I
don't
want to respect that some people may not. So, but yeah, so go do that, and then go to Forest City Float or some sensory deprivation pod near you if you think it would be a good idea for you. Consult your doctor if you have medical conditions.
Yeah.
I also want to end by saying our candle might be done the same time this season is.
Ooh. What?
Finally.
How far down is it?
It's getting there. It might go another episode or a couple episodes.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
it's definitely
I guess we better end this to preserve it for at least one more episode.
All right. Until next time, Coven.
That's it. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Midwest Coven Cast.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode.
In the meantime, you can check out Midwest Coven Cast Presents Weekend Reads.
Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Join and support us on Patreon. You can also find us at
MidwestCovenCast.com.
You can also join our Coven by following us on social media.
At Midwest Coven Cast on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and at Midwest Coven on Twitter.
Until next time, Coven.
Blessed be.